Good morning from the Valiant Lady and our sea day, the first of two consecutive sea days as we make our way from the Caribbean back up to the Bahamas for our final port call, which will be in a couple days from now in Bimini. But it's a beautiful morning out here in the Caribbean. So welcome to our final installment from here on board the Valiant Lady. This will be my last video from this vlog series, and I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope you're caught up on the videos. If this is the first one you've watched, you should go back and check out how the journey has gone so far. I've already posted my full review of the Valiant Lady and my experience here on board Virgin Voyages. I've already told you about the food. You've seen a lot, but today we're going to sort of close it all out in this vlog. But this vlog is going to cover 3 days on board, actually technically 4, as we close out the cruise. I still have 3 days to go, today, tomorrow, and then our last day where we'll be in Bimini. And to my understanding, Virgin ends all their cruises in Bimini. Of course, they have their beach club there, and I feel like they closed them all. They have a big party there the last night, a big beach party, and it's sort of the big goodbye event. It's the last thing that's done for the cruise. So that'll be in a couple of days, but I said 4 days because I'm going to go back in time a little bit to last night, because last night was like the premiere party, the biggest party on the cruise. It was Scarlet Night, and Scarlet Night is featured on all Virgin Voyages. It is like the biggest party, and it's probably the biggest party I've ever seen at sea. I mean, the party starts early on in the evening on decks 6 and 7. Those are the main decks, the main passenger decks, like inside decks. And there's stuff all along the promenade there on deck 7. I mean, they turn all the lights off and have like red lighting. Everyone dresses in red or in scarlet. It's a big event. Like, the entire ship participates. All the staff wear Scarlet Night shirts. And then after all that happens, up on the main pool deck, from like 10:30 to like midnight, they have a huge deck party. And this was insane. Like, I've seen a number of deck parties from, cruise lines like Carnival, the fun cruises, the fun ships or whatever, Royal Caribbean, which is like the family vibe, to Celebrity, and nothing compared to the deck party that they had for Scarlet Night last night. I mean, the loudest music. So many people. People were in the pool. People were just like crazy. And it was cool. It wasn't like, anything that made anyone feel uncomfortable. Everyone was happy. Everyone was participating and enjoying Scarlet Night. And that's the cool thing about the parties and stuff. And I want to say this here, and I'm sure I've already said it in some of the other videos, but people say that Virgin is like a party. Oh, it's just party. I'm not a partier. I'm not either. I'm not a partier at all. And I've had a great time. You don't have to be involved in the parties. You don't have to go to those events. You don't have to go to the deck parties. But it's there if you want to, The vibe around the ship, I feel like, is like it's poised for a party at any time. Like, people are ready to go. Like, but you don't have to participate. Like, it's a very cool ship. The food is good. The vibes are good. And if you want to party, you can party. It's there. But it's been a very good cruise. Scarlet Night was so much fun. I've never seen anything like that on a ship before, and I think it was executed amazingly. And from what I heard people say, everyone loved it. They said it was a great time. So it seems like Virgin has a hit on their hands with Scarlet Night. Yeah, I guess that's a long intro, but what I want to say to you is, let's get this adventure, our final adventure on this cruise on Valiant Lady, started. Hello, good evening. It's now 7:30 p.m. and I've been in the room for a few hours, relaxing, hanging out on that hammock on the balcony, which I love. It's one of my favorite parts of this whole experience, I think. And then I was also watching a movie on the TV. And I gotta say, I also really love the movie selections, because I've never seen a larger movie selection on a cruise ship before. They have so many movies. So I just took a nap, watched a movie, and I've been really lazy. So now it's time to get out and about the ship, see what the evening has in store. One thing I know for sure it has in store, a couple things, is dinner tonight. Dinner tonight, I'm going to be an extra virgin, and that's going to be the elevated Italian restaurant. And it is one of the 6 restaurant options that you have when you sell this ship. It's included, so it's not specialty. There are no specialty dining. I mentioned that in some of the other videos, but I wanted to reiterate, everything's included when it comes to food. Like, there are no specialty options. So I'm excited to try that out. I've heard from other people throughout the week that the dining is good. That's one of the other cool things about having 6 different restaurants to go to, is that you, as you talk to people around the ship, that's a topic of conversation. Like, oh, have you been to Extra Virgin yet? Have you been to Pink Agave yet? Have you been here? Have you been there? And then sharing your experiences, what you liked. That's really cool, because usually on cruise ships, you know, even if there are more than one main dining room, they usually use the same menu each night. But not true here. Each restaurant has its own unique menu, so that's a conversation starter around the ship. After dinner, though, I do have a reservation tonight for Dual Reality, and then I'm going to catch up with you in the morning, since we're continuing this vlog on, and tell you all how it was. So I'm going to put in some clips here of our evening, and I'll talk to you in the morning. Back in the hammock where I've been for most of the day, but I did think earlier I should get out and go for a jog. So I've been enjoying my jogs up on the walking track. It's on the very back of the ship, up on deck 17, and it's been really nice. I really enjoy it back there, just devoted to walking, so you don't have to worry about people that are in transit getting to one part of the ship or the other getting in your way like on other cruise lines. So that's nice. But had a really good time last night. I wanted to tell you about that because I promised that I would. I did go to dinner at Extra Virgin, and that's where I was going when I left you. And that was a really good meal, like probably one of the best restaurants so far. I had fried calamari, which I didn't quite care for. I mean, it was okay for fried calamari, but it did taste more like pre-breaded and frozen than fresh. I feel like it could have tasted a little bit fresher. And then for a starter, I had meatballs, and y'all, they had 4 huge meatballs. They said mini meatballs, and I thought they were going to be small. They were huge. And I thought, well, I'll just eat 1 or 2 of them because I can't be eating all this. And I ate them all because that's how good they were. And in my mind the whole time, I'm thinking, this isn't specialty like dining. This would be specialty dining on any other cruise line. Then for my main, I had the sea bass, and that was just okay. It wasn't anything spectacular. The potatoes that came with it were kind of cold, so I didn't even finish all that. But I did get a side of potato gnocchi in there, and I love gnocchi, and y'all, that was the best gnocchi I've ever had in my life, pretty sure. It was just so good. It was like melt in your mouth, good. And then after that, I went to the show. The show was Dual Reality, D-U-E-L, Reality, and it was sort of a modern retelling of Romeo and Juliet, but from, again, a sort of a crowd competition thing. So they set you, it's sort of like you're in a gymnasium, and they actually pulled bleachers out from both sides, which shows you just how versatile that red room is, because that is the main theater on board the ship. Yet they have had a stage show in there. They've had, this sort of made it like a gymnasium. So it's really cool how they can convert that into several different things and change up the method of show that they're having in there. I've really appreciated and enjoyed that, and I think that's really unique. You're not seeing other cruise lines do anything quite like that yet, but I'm sure they'll all be following Virgin's lead before long. And that's what makes Virgin so cool, is like I've said many, many times, they want to do everything differently, and they are. They're succeeding, and it's awesome. The show was great. I mean, there were so many different tricks and stunts and acrobatics and all sorts of stuff that was going on in that show. And then they sort of twisted the story of Romeo and Juliet a little bit. But if you're sailing with Virgin, you absolutely need to go see it. This was the 2nd or 3rd time that they've offered the show. Like I mentioned, they offer them many different times because the venue is not that large, and that affords everyone an opportunity to come in and see it. But I really enjoyed it, and I think you should go see it if you're going to sail with them. I'll definitely go back on another sailing when I'm back with Virgin. And y'all, I'll definitely be back with Virgin, I'll tell you that. This morning I was up early. I had an 8 a.m., snagged an 8 a.m. reservation for Razzle Dazzle. Razzle Dazzle has become my favorite venue for breakfast or brunch on board the ship. And so I had some of my favorites, the watermelon cream, I think is what it's called. And essentially it's like watermelon toast, and they use like watermelon as toast. It's got frozen berries on top of it, all different kinds. And then some sort of sweet cream sort of is like the butter. So it's sort of a different take on toast. It's a much healthier take on toast because it's all fruit. Yeah, I've just been taking it easy. I've actually was watching A Christmas Story because, believe it or not, when I'm filming these videos, it's actually early December 2023. I know you're not seeing them until January and February of 2024. So yeah, I filmed these things a little bit early to sort of hold me over till my next cruise. Speaking of my next cruise, stick around here on the channel. If you've enjoyed my content, I enjoy to stick around because up next, like probably one of the next couple of vlogs, I'll start these in probably early March. You're going to start seeing some content from me on board Celebrity Edge, and I'm going to be on her for my very first time to Australia, and I'm so excited. So make sure you subscribe or come back or turn on notifications, whatever you need to do to get you back here in a week or two so that you can see me embarking on Celebrity Edge from Sydney, and it's going to be a great trip, and I can't wait for that. But anyways, self-promotion time is over. Let's go enjoy more of this beautiful sea day. So it's our second sea day, the second of the two, and then tomorrow we're at Bimini. So yeah, I'll tell you what I get into today, and before long, near the end of the video, we're going to be on Bimini, so make sure you stick around for that. Good morning. It's now the next day, the very last day of the cruise. Today we're in beautiful Bimini, Bahamas, and I'll flip the camera around here in just a second and show you how gorgeous it is, how stunning it is. I've been here once before. I came a couple years ago on a Carnival cruise and loved it. I have a video out on that, and I'll actually link that down below, put a little icon thing up here, so make sure you go back and watch that video. I'll tell you the best thing to do at Bimini, and that is, well, just go watch that video and I'll tell you the best thing to do. One of the best days I've ever had, like excursion wise, on a cruise in the Caribbean. So yeah, excited to be back here. This visit's a little bit different because of course Virgin Voyages, they don't own Bimini. Of course it's part of the Bahamas. It's a sovereign nation and all, but they did help develop this port quite a bit, in so much that they have their Bimini Beach Club, or they just call it their Beach Club Resort, or whatever they call it. It's just right up the beach here, and there is a tram to get there. I'll show you all that when we get off the ship here in just a minute. But this beach club is just exclusive to people on Virgin, and of course Bimini is only a one-ship port, meaning there can only be one ship here at a time, just the way that the pier's built and everything right now. I don't know if they'll expand that in the future, but when Virgin is here, you can go to that resort, and it's really cool. I think it's like an extension of the ship. So from what I understand, there's food there. The beverages and stuff that they have there is all part of, will like be linked to the bar tab on the ship. So any money you spend there will be linked to your onboard account. So we're gonna go over there and check that out, and I'll show you how to get there and all that here in the last part of the video. But first, we got to go back in time a little bit to last night, where I was going to not specialty dining, and that's a slip of the tongue, but it's a very honest one because it felt like specialty dining, what I had for dinner last night. And again, want to reiterate, because that was just a slip of the tongue. All food is included here, no specialty dining, but I went to Gumbe last night, and Gumbe is the Korean barbecue restaurant on board the ship. It's kind of hesitant because it is one of those where you have to share a table, so 6 people sit at each table. So I'm a party of 1, so 4 other people, 2 couples sat with me. And I was kind of hesitant at first. I don't like sharing tables and stuff. I like to sort of be on my own when I'm eating dinner on a cruise. But it was actually fun. It was a very cool, very interactive experience. They really get you involved there. Essentially how it works is they have some appetizers and like noodles and soups they bring out first. And then when they cook your main entree, they cook that on the grill right in front of you at your table. So sort of a mixture of well, it's Korean barbecue. I've never had Korean barbecue before, but for me, I was like, oh, cool, this is very much like hibachi. If you like hibachi, it's very much like that. It was a very good experience. The food was delicious, and like I said, it definitely felt like specialty dining. So really enjoyed Gumbe, really enjoying Virgin Voyages so much. I really love it, y'all. I can't wait to come back already, but enough of me blabbing on. Let's go out and check out beautiful Bimini, but after we take a look at it. And here we are. Beautiful Bimini. Look at that water. How stunning it is. And believe it or not, we're only about 70 miles. If you go 70 miles to the west, you'd be in Miami. So very, very close to Florida. But just stunning. Some of the prettiest water that I think you're going to find anywhere. And this whole island is pretty. Like I said, go back and watch that video. I show the island off. the whole island. All right, let's go explore. This is just for our ship today, just for the Valiant Lady. Like, because we're the only one here, of course, but it is private, and even if you're visiting Bimini, not via ship, only people from Virgin Voyages can be out here experiencing the resort today, which is very nice. So here is one pool, and then behind me here is another pool, so two very large pools. I will say that the internet works, so the same internet Wi-Fi that you have on the ship, it'll automatically connect here at the beach resort as well. And then the beach out here, pretty swamped with people, so I would encourage you, if you're going to be visiting, to come out here early to ensure you get the right location for you. There's bars out here too, and like I said earlier, your same beverage packages and stuff that you have on the ship, or bar credit or whatever they call it, will work out here at Bimini at the Beach Club Resort. There's another huge bar right here, and then there's folks walking around with food too, so I know that they do have food available, and I think that's included also, if I'm not mistaken. So pretty much anything you could want or ask for right out here. Oh, here's the big, so they actually have been advertising this a bit, this big sphere here. I think they light this up at night or in the evening to have the big, like, goodbye party or whatever, which is sort of the last thing that happens on the cruise, sort of the big send-off. So I guess it'll be later. We don't have to be back on the ship till 6:30. We leave at 7, so we'll be here pretty late in the day after sunset. So this is probably going to be happening later tonight. They do have several food locations around the island, and you can pretty much get whatever you want to. It is included. They do have several menu items, but I chose the chicken thighs, the grilled corn, there's a fly on it, get out of here, and then the rum cake. But you can get as much as you want, and everything looks really delicious. So I'm going to dig in and let you know how it is. They also have the drink stands, which include the Coca-Cola products, which are included as well. Okay, so this corn has like coconut and like coconut cream on it. Y'all, it will change your life. That is so good. The chicken's good too. But that corn, woo, it'll mess you up. So after a fantastic day at the beach club in Bimini and a fantastic time at the ship show was very good, very entertaining, and then a fantastic dinner after, because I didn't do dinner at the ship show. I just watched, and then went to dinner after at Test Kitchen again, and that was good as well. Then a good breakfast up in Lido. We're back in Miami now. It's 7 a.m. on debarkation morning, so I've got to get off the ship and get home. So thank you so much for watching this vlog series, my very first on Virgin Voyages. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go down below, give me a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure.